everybody. Hope you're doing well. I am coming to you from sunny Guatemala, where I am on a retreat doing a prenatal yoga teacher training with doula training. And I had some thoughts while my mind became a little more peaceful on a break time. I was thinking about something that I see discussed a lot online, which is the idea of competition. I had a funny experience a couple of weeks ago. My marketing manager reached out to me and he said, the funniest thing just happened. One of your competitors commented the exact words that I comment on people's posts online. And it's an interesting little line that he uses often. And he just, just a little quote, just like kind of to give some positive reinforcement to some things people are working on. But the wording is pretty unique. And so one of my competitors used the exact same words. It seemed weird that it would be a coincidence. And we just kind of laughed about it. I was like, yeah, it's kind of weird, but we just had a laugh about it. And it got me thinking about the fact that my relationship with competition is maybe different than some people's relationship with competition. At the same time, the week before, one of my good friends was feeling annoyed by another person in her industry, not in the doula industry, but in her industry that was copying her and had completely, beautiful brand of things, food related things, just absolutely high end, exquisite, phenomenal. And someone else with a different kind of branding was had completely changed it to copy what she did. And I said, you know what a lot of people say, which is, hey, imitation is the finest form of flattery. And she has a harder time with that notion of flattery and imitation being a good thing than I do. And I got thinking about, why is that? What is it about that relationship that is different for her than for me? And I realized that, I've been in this industry for so long that I've seen so many iterations or stages of where we're at in the doula profession as a modern day role. And, when I first started, every single time I talked about doula work, I had to define it. I had to tell everyone what doulas were. Now I have the experience and the longevity in this field to realize that after 19 years of doing this work, when I say doula, I rarely define it. In fact, recently I was traveling and I remember the, the border patrol person, control person said, what do you do for a living? And I said, I'm a doula. And I actually was kind of getting ready to answer, describe what is a doula. And he went, that's cool. Me and my wife had a doula. She was awesome. And I was like, yeah, because we're getting into that stage where more and more people know about it. So here's the thing, coming up back to competition, let's bring it back to that. When you're in an area that has very little competition, what you also tend to have the lack of is a lot of knowledge of the role of the doula. You tend to have to do a lot more education and more information provision than you do in an industry that has a lot of doulas. What I've seen in my community, I'm in the Toronto area of Ontario, Canada. And again, so coming back 19 years ago, even 10 years ago, I was talking for free at any event that people would let me come to talk about doulas and the benefits of doulas, even to places where people would have never been able to actually pay me. But for me, talking about this work was really just bringing awareness to how important this role is and how beneficial it can be. So fast forward, and here we are today. And you know what there are hundreds, if not thousands of other people in my community pounding the pavement, also talking about doulas. That's a lot more Instagram accounts and TikTok accounts and Facebook groups and pages and all that stuff. And people out in the community talking about doulas and people serving people, whether they're, exact client target market of mine or not, but it's a lot more people serving families with doula services, and those families then are telling their friends about doulas. And so do you know what I find? I have more competition than I could ever have imagined when I started this role 19 years ago. And I've never made more money. And I've never had more people inquiring about the service because there's a lot more people out there talking about it. So if you're in a community and you're having either some hesitation about being a new doula and thinking, but there are so many, will I make enough money? Listen, there is someone out there that wants you as a doula, and they want you for a really specific reason around everything that made you, your experience, your background. You're in Guatemala, and it's probably making y'all dizzy looking at me. I'm gonna hold this screen here. There are people out there that really love the unique qualities that you bring to your work as a doula, and that someone else doesn't. So, what I know, having owned agencies for a really long time now, is that people hire new doulas just as much as they hire experienced doulas. Why? Because not everybody cares about experience. What they want is a doula that they connect with. That's knowledgeable, yes. And it has a little bit of experience, sure. But I have some brand new doulas that on paper have very little experience, but they're such beautiful people and such amazing, compassionate, non-judgmental support birth workers that people want to work with them. And so whether you're new or whether you've been doing this work for a decade or two or three, I encourage you to think about and really dig into your beliefs around competition. What is it about having other people doing the same thing as you that maybe bothers you or that brings up some emotion, in you? What about that idea of imitation? Someone copies your name, your brand name, someone copies your website copy. I literally had someone copy my exact website copy before, I was like, that's really weird, right? But still, like, so what? What's that really gonna do? You could say something to the person if you really feel like you need to, if it's really impacting your business, but is it impacting your business? If someone 3 states over has the same company name as you, I encourage you to just kind of dig in and think about what that means. What it could mean for sure is that it increases your SEO or it decreases your SEO, right? Your search engine optimization. So of course there are times where we need to say something of ours has been, stolen or taken and it's impacting our business and our ability to conduct business, then yes, of course, we need to do something. But overall, I think this idea that we have about competition, we should really be thinking of it more in terms of competition, right? I'm sure you've heard that before. And how can we collaborate together as doulas to work together? Because ultimately, I think a lot of us have a similar goal. We want to serve families and help them have better experiences in birth and postpartum. So what's the ultimate goal here? And what is the competition really preventing us from being able to do? Or is it maybe actually helping us in some ways? I find over the years, I've worked really collaboratively with a lot of my competitors. I've had other agencies that, when one of us is too busy to support a client, we hand it over to them and vice versa. I've actually done work under some of my competitors, even when I ran my own business, to help them out with a client situation. And I think when I think about why I became a doula and what I loved about this work, I loved this idea of compassionate, non-judgmental support, but I don't think that is exclusive to our clients. I really miss the days where doulas just all got along, where doulas got together and had tea together and talked about difficult experiences they had with clients and collaborated on ideas to grow the profession and to grow each of their businesses, and that worked in collectives. And I don't see as much of that as I used to, and I personally miss it. I have a hard time being really not collaborative with a colleague and then professing that as a trainer, that's the kind of support we're to offer clients. I mean, if you believe in non-judgmental support, shouldn't that just be for everyone? Or is that just reserved for people that aren't in competition with you, or who aren't doing the same work as you? And so for me, that idea of the doula spirit that has been said by Doula trainers and Doula doulas for a really long time, I hope that we can have more of that online, more of that in our communities, and collaborate more with our competitors. But maybe something I said today resonated a little bit with you, and you can just spend some time just thinking about, what competition means to you, what collaboration means to you, what the doula spirit means to you. And certainly you don't have to agree with me. That's cool, because that's what non-judgmental support is, allowing other people to have different ideas and different opinions and loving them just the same. So, in the doula spirit, I hope that you're all doing very, very well in your careers, your business, and I wish you all good luck and a wonderful week. Bye.